Hey guys, Lacey here, and today is another episode of Fancy Champagne, right? So we got this in the other day, and I know how you guys like to look at my stuff when I get it in, and I love telling you about it when I get it in because it's very exciting. But we acquired this the other day. It is a 2014 Roederer Cristal. Everybody loves Cristal. So, with that being said, I am going to give you a little bit of information about this particular champagne. So, and I'm sure this is stuff that a lot of you did not even know. I didn't know until I did research on it. So, I think it's pretty interesting, and I think you guys would really get a kick out of it. So, first, Cristal was first created by Louis Roederer for Alexander II in 1876. As Russia became less stable, Alexander feared assassination, so he commanded that his champagne bottle be clear with a flat bottom. So, a lot of you probably don't realize that most champagne bottles and most wine bottles, for that matter, have what I like to call a butt. And I'm going to show you the difference between this one and that one. So let me grab this one out. So here is this lovely bottle of Cristal. Again, everyone's favorite. As you can see, the bottle is completely flat. 100% flat. Okay? And he did that for a reason. Because, he's crazy as hell. Good thing Mr. Lace is not around. Now this is a champagne bottle, as what we like to call a butt. And you can see this bottle is green as well. And it's a very nice champagne. Very nice demi-sec. And we'll go over that in a minute. This is a brut. Okay? And I'll tell you the difference between a brut and a demi-sec in a minute as well. So anyway, he wanted the bottom to be flat so he could make sure there was no bombs underneath his bottle. Mind you, this is 1876. Okay? So he wanted to make sure no one was going to blow him up while he was drinking his bubbly. So, and then, let's see, what else? Eventually, when the Russian Revolution ended in 1917, Roederer kept producing the champagne, and eventually it hit the market for commoners in 1945. The Cristal is far from a common beverage, as we all know. 2. Cristal remains in the Roederer family to this day. It's not belong to anybody else. It belongs to the Roederer family. The estate is currently overseen by Frederick Rosard, the 7th generation of the family, which makes Louis Roederer the largest independent family-owned champagne house in the world. It's true. It has an annual production of 300,000 to 400,000 bottles per year, which is a pretty low number considering that Dom Perignon produces about 5 million bottles a year. So, and I think you guys have seen some of my Dom Perignon videos, which are really cool as well. If you haven't, go check them out. If you've ever wondered, Cristal is cellar aged for 6 years and then held another 8 months after its degorgement, which I'll explain that in a second. Let's see. The vines are used to grow Cristal's grapes are also old. They must be a minimum, mind you, a minimum of 25 years of age. But some are as old as 60. The older the vine is, the less fruitful it is, which contributes to the rarity of Cristal. In an effort to return to tradition and make champagne making operation as organic as possible, Roederer began farming biodynamically in 2000. That's crazy. Not only did the company halt the usage of pesticides in their vineyards, but it began tilling the land with horses, which is, crazy since we have all these, machinery out there that'll do all that. But I think it's kind of cool. Let's see. Cristal's bottles used to be made with lead crystal. In French is called Cristal, i.e. Cristal. Cristal's gold wrapping has historic roots. In the 19th century, a system of color coding was used to signify a champagne's quality. Unsurprisingly, gold is used to denote the highest prestige, but there's a significant reason for this wrapping as well. The shiny cellophane actually is an anti-UV, which protects the clear bottle wine from damage from the sun's rays that can quickly cook a wine, which will ruin it forever. Bet you didn't know that, right? It's kind of cool, right? I mean, and also too, that's pretty much why they put these in like the darker bottles, so you don't have to go with the cellophane. Because I mean, think about it. This is in a dark green. Any champagne or wine that you get that's in a darker bottle is gonna protect it from the sun and make it better. So, this is produced uniquely during the best years when the Chardonnay, which is around 40%, and the Pinot Noir is around 60% grapes, have attained perfect maturity. Cristal is aged for 6 years in the cellars and then left for a further 8 months after degorgement. And this is where we get into degorgement, which is kind of cool because Mr. Lacey explained it to me, which I was like, what? Degorgement is the act of removing the frozen plug of ice containing spent yeast from a champagne bottle after the riddling. And riddling is when they go in and they spin it. Degorgement takes place on the bottling line just prior to adding the dosage. I'll explain dosage. And the final corking of the finished bottle of champagne. Dosage is just the amount of sugar that they put into the bottles. And this is where the difference comes in. Is this is a brut, which means it's a drier champagne. It's not. There's no sweetness to it all. Okay, so it's a dry champagne. They call it a brut. This is a demi-sec, as you can see right there. And I'm going to do another video on this particular bottle later, but this is a demi-sec, which means it has more sugar in it, and it has a little more sweetness to it, which is the kind that I'm more partial to. So that's the difference. When they say to add dosage to it, they mean to add sugar to it. So that's kind of cool as well. And then, just to let you know, so this is a 2014. It's a really young wine. I'm sorry, a young champagne, so you don't want to open it. It's not really ready to drink yet. So you want to hold on to it for a little while. If you manage to get your hands on one, they are disappearing quickly. It has a rating of 98 points from Wine Spectator, 97 from Jane Suckling, and 97 from Wine Enthusiast. So, you know, it's, you know, good average of 98, which is really, really good. So, with that being said, this is my 2014 Cristal with its cellophane and its little flat butt. If you can find one, grab it. If you're a collector, like myself and Mr. Lacey, get them, put them up, put them away, you know, save them for a rainy day. Here in this one's really cool because I actually have the box for this one, as you can see, which those are really hard to find. I have the box, and then I also have the little book information. Ooh. And the inside of the box is kind of cool as well, if you want to see. It's like a little sleepy pad from my Cristal. So I'm going to put this back into the wine cellar for Mr. Lacey House Coronary and finds out that I have it out because I really wanted you guys to see it because it's really, really cool. And that is your lesson on Cristal. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Remember, like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.